Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day, it's another dollar, and it's another low down dirt of life after lockup. My loves, first on the docket, we have Bianca and Daniel. Right on target, my loves. Daniel got a job within 1 month. And that's what Bianca's schedule was. Uh-huh. She said he is not going to be shacking up with her no more than a month. He has to have a job. So he gets a part-time job. And she's like, she kind of turns her nose up, but in the meantime, she already knows she's not picking him and dropping him off from work because she says she has no time for that. But Sister Girl has nothing but time because the last time I checked, she didn't have a job, no kids, pets, nothing but a settlement to waste away. In the meantime, she's shopping and complaining about money and ignoring the time to pick up her man. So he has to spend money on an Uber, and she drops 137 bucks on a figurine for them to paint. Lovely. That means you don't know what to do with your money. You buying figurines to paint. Moving on to Justine and Mike. Now, these two little imbeciles are hiding the pregnancies. I'm like, they too old and grown for that. Too old and grown. Anyway, Mike's mom's house goes up in flames. That is the theme of the season. Houses are going up in flames. Mike's mom, she takes 2 trains and a bus to get to Vegas. And will she be surprised? Because they're not telling her that there's another baby on the way until she arrives. So, lo and behold, uh Mike picks up mom and he tells her, you know what, don't fuss around, just try to get the lay of the land before you start making demands. Now Mama and Mike couldn't wait before they roll up into the house and said the plants need water, in which they did. And anyway, she rolls up into the house full of kids and holding the youngest one. And then lo and behold, they drop the bomb. Justine is pregnant. And it goes off. We'll have to stay tuned the next week to find out what happens. Now, Britney and Kerok. Now, they had left us on a cliffhanger last week. And Brittany tells Kerok at their little altar that the PO doesn't think it's a good move to get married. So eventually they decided to call off the wedding. And Kerok is upset. He packs from Texas because he's ready to make some money. He's pissed that Brittany waited until the very last minute to tell him that it wasn't going to work out. And he's wondering, well, does she even want to get married? And he and Brittany are the king of last minute. So I don't know why he's concerned about her waiting till the last minute. But of course, he also is mad that he thinks she's not in the mood to get married. Okay. So anyway, she begs him to wait a week until they get the next call for authorities. And he agrees just this once. But he's in a petty mood and he's decided to like put it on put his mood aside and just wait for the next call. Now, Kim and Joey, they meet up at the lawyer's office. All right. And Kim is telling the attorney all of her little hotels. And I'm thinking, I don't think the attorney is that amused what goes down in your pants. I mean, we're amused, okay, the audience. But this woman is thinking that she didn't go to law school for these ratchet brain gymnastics. Okay. Because Kim says, well, I was dating, I was married, and I kind of fooled around, and I don't know who the baby daddy is. So then Joey says he's not going to let his maybe baby go off with his legal daddy because the legal daddy is on the birth certificate and he was married at the time the boy was born. So he is the legal daddy according to the law. And Joey's all like, no. He my kid now if the DNA proves it. And then the attorney tells Kim that she will have to pay back the child support, which is a good chunk. Who knew? Kim's man was paying her $2,500. 25. That explains it because she's nothing but she's a teacher's assistant and she makes nothing but 15 bucks an hour. So that explains how she was able to buy a car and do a few little things for Joey. And Joey's all cavalier. He says if they have to pay back, they'll get on a payment plan, maybe 10 bucks a month So for the rest of his life, he's gonna wait until that debt is paid off. I'm like, in your head, Joey, in your head, $10 a month. You're gonna get a job, Joey, if you have to pay that back. But anyway, moving on to Tennie and Rob. Now, now, back to Tennie and Rob. They're on the docket. They had stopped arguing, and Teeny's told Rob that, you know what, she was just being petty. Um, she knows that, the tat's gonna be a minute before it's ever removed. And we also find out that Rob's dad is a felon too. And I'm like, is this a generational curse or what? These men are just, I mean, my goodness. Now, Tina gets a job. Congratulations. I think she's a paralegal. So she's going to make some coins. And Rob is already talking about taking away the birth control. And I'm like, do they not know that employers frown upon new employees getting knocked up right off the bat? I mean, like, don't mess up your game. And, first Tina's okay with, she's okay, really, because she's had some hesitation. But, she figures, hey, he did it without hesitation, everything I asked, so maybe I could give this to him because her biological clock is ticking. Now, moving on to Zaria and Troy. They go to the dispensary. I guess they're going to smoke their worries away, forget about the rent that they got to pay for their nonprofit. And I'm going to tell you, since Troy's been released, I must agree that it's been a wild ride. Him and Zaria, wild ride. Anyway, they buy some weed, and Troy wants to get just as high as his mama. And then they go to the forest. And go, okay, that's kind of different. Get high in the forest. And Zaria thanks Troy for stepping up to be a dad for her son, and they're all like overly emotional because the weed got it going on. And then she drops a bomb. She's not on any birth control because it broke her out so much. And that is true because she told my girl Mary on Kiki and Kivitz that that was why her face broke out on the last season. And Troy, who said, you know what, we got enough kids. And he just doesn't know that Zaria is not taking the pill. Oh my goodness, my loves. Why do these people want to make their lives more challenging? I do not know. Zaria is not even raising her own son and want to bring another child into the world. I guess so the parents can raise them. The grandparents, that is, not them. Because Zaria is not on meds and she's going to be stressed out with the baby. And as you know, at this time of the show, we talk about the winners, we talk about the losers. Now, let's look at Bianca and Daniel. It's a tough one. I must say, this week's winners and losers is tough. Tough, tough, tough. But I'm going to say Daniel is losing. Daniel, he got a job, but now he's spending money to get back home from the job. So really, $37, whatever he spent on an Uber, $30 to get back home. And it's not looking so great. So I'm going to give the L to Daniel. Justine and Mike, interesting. Who are the losers? I'm going to say Justine's the loser. I mean, she's got Mike's mom moving in. Even though they were friends in the past, it's just a little bit more challenging to have your mother-in-law in the house. So now we have 1-1. We are at a tie. Now we have Britney and Kerok. Kerok wants to pack his thing and go. He is so upset. But Brittany convinced him to, take a chill pill. So I'm going to give the L to Kira because he wanted to win and leave out of there and go to Texas, make some money. But Brittany convinced him otherwise. So we are at 2-1 non-cons. Okay, the non-cons are a little ahead. Moving on to Kim and Joey. I'm gonna say, oh, it's interesting. Kim is stressing out. She doesn't want to lose this money, and she doesn't want to disappoint Joey. So she's in a rock and a hard place because she doesn't want him to let Joey know that he may not be the daddy, and if he is the daddy, she don't want to lose that 2,500 a month. So Kim is taking the L. Now we are officially tied to both sides. Tennie and Rob. Tennie got the job. Congratulations. And Rock wants her to, let's make a baby. And she says, you know what? That sounds like a plan. So I'm going to give the score 3-2 non-cons. Non-cons are in the winning. And here we have Zaria and Troy. Zaria wants a baby, and she doesn't take the birth control pills, and he does not know it. So now Zaria brings the point up for the non-cons, and we are officially at a tie, my loves. What do you guys think of that? Now, crazy episode. Drop a line below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. You're not going to get this commentary anywhere else, as well as like this video, my loves. And as you drop a line, I'm going to catch you all out on the flip side, okay? Love, peace, and hair grease.